Oh my God, Stranger Things. Nobody warned me that the end of this season was gonna be like this. I mean, it's like I need a tear catcher for it for sure, and it wasn't prepped. Soften it up, you know? If you don't know what the tear catcher is, cry all you want is gonna catch it right here, and that way nobody has to know that you have emotions. Okay, so I just watched the last episode. That's mainly what's in my head, but also I recorded this with no plans, so we're gonna break down some characters, and this is a long video, but buckle in if you're a fan of Stranger Things. Let's just talk about Winona Ryder. Had a lot of she got her strong woman moment with Murray and with the Russians on the phone, which I was like, baller.
If you're some glorified secretary or what, but if you want to lose your job, here's what's gonna happen. When I hang up, you're gonna get up off your ass.
But she never got her true moment with Hopper. Except for kind of at the very end, which you're just like, oh God, it's ripping me apart. If you were not crying, I feel like your cave is closed and we need to roll away the big rock and open up the cave, because this episode ripped me apart. I love that Eleven found herself with the help of Max and obviously trying on clothes in the mall, which are like, yeah, totally 80s. Like, hit up that Claire's, hit up the Hot Topic, get something on that makes you feel like you. Yes, this is a great montage. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It very much reminds me of 80s and 90s movies where they're like, montage of you trying on clothes. Dustin is still as lovable right now as he was in season 1. And most of the time with these characters, as they grow up, they don't become as lovable, but Dustin truly, truly is. I love him so much. He's still one of my favorite characters in this, besides Eleven. When I heard him start singing, I was like, oh, okay, he's got runs too. He's like, look at what you see. I want to see. I mean, but his was better. Also, your girlfriend, nice choice. I like that he picked a nerd alert, smart girl. I bet you she becomes that girl who takes off her glasses when she hits like 15 and is like, supermodel. They really dove into the insecurities of Mike and just boys in general that I'm like, wow, I wish that I could have seen what the boys were talking about when I was like 12 or 13. If I would have seen what the boys were talking about, I would have been like, oh, I get it now. Instead of just sitting in my room thinking, I'm never gonna see Kenny again. We were dating for 2 days and it was the best 2 days of my life. You know what I mean? But if I had to dip in and saw Kenny, then I probably would have been like, I'm better off. You know what I mean? And just when you think Eleven and Winona and Hopper are gonna save the day, it ends up being Lucas with his sweet, sweet mind because he's a creative. You know what I mean? Lucas is a creative. And I was like, oh God, I forgot about those fireworks. This is great. I would have used the pop-ums too on him. Pop them everywhere. And that way he's just like, where? Oh God, ooh, You know, he probably would have done that along with the fireworks, throw them at him. That's good. But I feel like they should have got some poppers in there to really kill the beast. I think that would have helped. Should have gotten some poppers. Poor Will, man. He has kind of been forgotten, right? He does not have a lot of lines in this entire season. I'm like, I think Will spoke like 8 times. He is such a good actor. Like, if you just see him in the foreground and you'll kind of see him just like, and he's out of focus, but he's in it. He's like, you know, and he's feeling it. And then there's also one where you see him in the background and he's full on like, I wish he had more lines, you know? He's a really good actor, even though he's mainly in the background, kind of, during this whole entire season. There's a lot of strong women stuff that happens. Like, Nancy is on the right track. Jonathan doesn't get it. He's so wrong. Just like Hopper was so wrong sometimes, and then Winona has to take charge and take the wheel. Isn't there a song about taking the wheel? Oh, right. It's like, Jesus, take the wheel. Forget about it. Yeah, anyway, Winona has to take the wheel from Hopper and ends up just making things obviously a lot easier, quicker, and better.
Yeah, take me back there.
To the lab.
Yeah, I want to go back.
Because some magnets fell off your fridge.
Yes.
Okay, makes sense.
I feel like the same happens with Nancy, that she has a lot of moments where you're just like, Nancy's right. I also love that she is the one who is like, shotgun, cha-cha. What's that song? Jamie's got a gun, but really for this is like, Nancy's got a gun. She was the one that always had a gun. And then also she's the one that stands in front of a Camaro with a handgun and is like, I'm gonna die for them all. I would have given it 3 shots and then been like, I'm gonna roll out of here. You know what I mean? But she stayed there and I'm like, why? Then I guess if she was in the car, she would have died anyway. But then also, you could save yourself, you know? I guess I'm a selfish person. I'm not as giving as Nancy. Well, we figured that out, huh? And I feel like Jonathan, even from season 1, has always been kind of a smart badass, which is why these two, they work together so well. There is no kid at the age of 17 or 18 like Jonathan that would ever admit to the girl that he was dating that he was so wrong. You're just like, Jonathan, you're so mature and so cool and such a badass, and you take cool pictures and you know how to use a dark room and you're just such a nice guy. Where can I find a Jonathan? Anybody here named Jonathan? Yeah. Were you named after Stranger Things? Oh, right. Yeah, that would make you 3. No, never mind. Where can I find that guy? Jonathan is the best. I adore him. I love the emotional roller coaster that we went on with Hopper throughout this entire season, especially in the beginning of the season where he's just an overprotective dad and he has that talk with Mike in the car. It's the best.
Here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna drive you home. And I'm gonna speak, and you're going to listen.
It kind of makes him an endearing dad. Like, I loved that. And obviously the way that he showed his feelings for Joyce throughout this, when he's at the restaurant, he's sad and he gets loaded. All of these feelings are buried deep inside, which is why the payoff when Murray gives him that long speech in the car.
Well, you're just a big man, baby. You'd rather act tough than show his true feelings because the last time you opened your heart, you got hurt. Owie. And now, rather than admit these feelings, you're dancing around one another with this mind-numbing and frankly boorish mating ritual. So, please, for my sake, either quit your bickering or pull over, tear off those clothes, and get it over with already!
Is such a good payoff, as well as the letter at the end. Because we all know that, again, you know, like Hopper, he got the cave, it never opened. God, I wanted to see them together so badly because I just want to see what Hopper would have learned from Joyce. Then again, Joyce, man, she's like, Bob. Everywhere she turns, it's like, Bob. You know, she misses Bob. And you're like, well.
Wait, what are we doing? Oh, wait, that's right. We're on our way to rescue our children from the big bad 4th of July celebration.
You know what? If you can't handle this, then just turn around and drop me off first.
What are you gonna do? You gonna walk back to August?
I will do anything if it gets me away from you.
You're both a little bit nutty, and I just feel like they belong together, and I wanted to see them together, but they didn't allow us. And I love the eye contact at the end. I feel like that was a little too long of a moment between Hopper and Joyce. Come on, man, you just killed that guy. This thing's gonna blow up. Just run up there and help her turn the key. You know what I mean? It makes for a good story and you know, oh, so much heart that he just kind of gives her the eyes, and it's the all-knowing look of like, I love you, but I've never said it, never will. Beautiful moment. And you know what's funny about that is that I did not think that he was gonna die. I was like, why are they doing the nod? And then I was like, oh, yeah, everybody was on the same page that it was gonna blow up and he was gonna lose his life. That sucked. I hated that. Big hair Steve. Steve is still pretty much just the same, which I love. You know what I mean? He's stuck in big hair and Scoops Ahoy. Kind of love the switch that Steve took after some time when they're in the bathroom. That he's like, yeah, I just found someone that's better fit for me. If somebody was like, I just think I found a better match for myself, I'd be like, I need something a little more than that. Of like, basically, you're awesome, there was no other choice. You're a great match, but also I only want you and have only loved you always. But like, Steve loves all the ladies all the time, and then he just spending time with her was like, yeah, she works, totally. We get along so well. So I love that she kind of broke him there at the end of like, that she's obviously gay and has only loved the girls.
Tammy Thompson's a girl.
Steve.
Yeah? Oh.
It was such a great moment where you're like, haha, big hair Steve. Big hair Steve, he's never been turned down, right, with his big hair. I mean, I'll admit it, if he came up to me with his big hair, I'd be like, hey, sure, yeah, you wanna talk over here? Yeah, we could share an ice cream cone? Yeah. God, you got great hair. But I love Robin's attitude, especially with the tag at the end at the video store.
These ladies are hot. They're so very hot. And there are too many of them for little Steve. He needs assistance.
She's gonna get the hot ladies in that video store. She's gonna find a girlfriend. Use the big hair as some bait. But then Robin comes in with the good personality. You know what I mean? Steve's got stuff to offer, but like, not as much as Robin. Billy, we all didn't like him, and then you see the flashbacks of his life, and you're like, man, your life is tough. People who were abused become abusers, right? That's what they say. It's on posters in counseling centers, I think. So you start to feel a little bit bad for him, and you realize why he's such a jerk and such a bully. The most heartbreaking moment, besides Hopper's letter, to me, was when 11 was on the ground and Billy is on top of her and she says, I was at the beach and I saw her and she was pretty. She was really pretty. And you were happy. And I was just like, oh. When you see his face, like literally it can make me cry right now. It rips me up inside. Like, I feel like everyone has had a piece of pain in their lives that sticks with them, that doesn't allow them to bring out the best of themselves. The moment where I really kind of lost it is when God, I just think about it because I just watched it now. Am I just an emotional wreck? Probably. You guys are like, we didn't cry at all. We were fine. I don't know what you're doing. You're losing your mind. I normally am. Is when she touched his face and he closed his eyes. To me, that was the very first moment that I think probably in his life that he felt comforted and loved. And it was by 11. It was just her being like, I understand. And I feel like there's a lot of people out there who might be like Billy and nobody gets it because they're just like, you're an asshole, which I understand. And we don't have time to like dig into their background and be like, what's the source of that? In hating Billy, really just this whole time of being like, he's such a jerk, but good looking. And then that moment at the end of just being like, 11 gave him some release, gave him comfort, gave him love that he remembered when his mom was still there. Yeah, that's what I mean when I began this video. Like, nobody told me I was gonna need a bunch of these to watch this stinking final episode. It was as though the love that he had forgotten was the love that ended up being powerful enough to save everybody else, and him sacrificing himself. And I thought that was a really beautiful moment that hit right here in the old heart here. And it kind of links back to Hopper's line and his letter.
Make mistakes, learn from them. And when life hurts you, because it will, remember the hurt. The hurt is good. It means you're out of that cave.
Yes. Because I always say, you'll never know the true feeling of true joy unless you feel a lot of pain first. Because then once you're out of it, you're like, man, wow, now I know this is great. Like back then was bad. And now I know, like, I need to be grateful for this right now. Just remember, we're all gonna be sad and hurt. That Stranger Things season 3 is over. So it means we got those emotions flowing, as you guys saw earlier, unfortunately. We get those emotions going. Your heart's working. This is good. I love that we got a peek at the Demogorgon at the end because I missed him. You know, the flower head. I just am like, sometimes you just want to see a flower open up and eat a face. And so I was really glad that happened at the end. I love you, Idiot Army, and I will see you on the next one.